Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of American coinage, specifically the United States $quarter from 1979. This coin, though often overlooked, holds a special place in both U.S. history and the world of numismatics. So, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll be astounded by just how much this coin could be worth today. Let's start by stepping back in time to the year 1979. The United States was in the midst of a dynamic decade, experiencing political shifts and economic changes. The country had just emerged from the tumult of the 1970s, which had been marked by the end of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and the resignation of President Richard Nixon. But 1979 brought new challenges and opportunities. The U.S. economy was in the midst of a recession, and the inflation rate was soaring. The quarter you hold in your hand today was minted during a time of economic turmoil, yet it remains a reminder of resilience and transition. At that time, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of quarters each year, including the famous Washington quarter that had been in circulation since 1932. The 1979 version of this coin carried the familiar design, with George Washington's image on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But what sets this particular coin apart from the rest? Let's explore its details and see why it's so much more than just a piece of currency. The design on the obverse side of the 1979 quarter is one of the most iconic in American coinage. George Washington, the first president of the United States, is depicted in left-facing profile. His image has been featured on the quarter for decades, symbolizing the strength, leadership, and independence of the early United States. Surrounding Washington's portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" at the top and the year 1979 at the bottom. The word "In God We Trust" appears to the left of his image, a motto that reflects the nation's enduring faith. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the majestic bald eagle, a symbol of American freedom and strength. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, signifying the nation's readiness to defend its freedom, while the olive branch in its talons represents peace. Surrounding the eagle is the inscription "United States of America," with the words "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," along with "quarter dollar" to indicate its value. While the 1979 quarter's design didn't change from previous years, it's the coin's unique production history that makes it special. In 1979, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from one of the highest inflation periods in history, and it was a time when coin production numbers were being closely monitored. As millions of these quarters were produced, some were minted with slight variations or flaws, making them highly coveted by collectors. As we delve into the rarity of the 1979 quarter dollar, it's important to note that most of the coins that entered circulation were, like many others, subject to daily wear and tear. Over time, coins lose their sharpness, their luster, and their intricate details. However, a few 1979 quarters managed to escape the rigors of circulation in near-perfect condition. These well-preserved coins have become sought after by collectors, who are constantly on the lookout for coins that can add value to their collections. What truly sets the 1979 quarter apart, though, is the existence of a few rare varieties. While most 1979 quarters are relatively standard, there are coins that have unique characteristics, sometimes as simple as subtle minting errors, such as double dies or slight misstrikes. A particularly famous variety is the 1979 double die quarter, where the design on the obverse shows a noticeable doubling effect on the inscriptions, including "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These coins are highly sought after because they are incredibly rare, and their imperfections make them unique and collectible. In the world of numismatics, rarity is the key to a coin's value. The more rare and well-preserved the coin, the higher its potential value. As collectors search for the most pristine examples of these rare varieties, some of them fetch impressive prices in the market. A quarter that has been carefully stored, kept in a climate-controlled environment, and maintained in perfect condition can be worth a significant amount, especially if it has one of these rare varieties or minting errors. For those who are fortunate enough to possess a high-quality 1979 quarter dollar, it's important to have the coin evaluated by a professional numismatist or to send it to a grading service for certification. Grading is essential because it provides a standardized way of assessing a coin's condition, which in turn determines its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. A coin with a high grade, such as a 65 or 66, can command a significantly higher price than one that has been heavily circulated or shows signs of damage. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for: how much is this 1979 quarter dollar worth today? The answer may surprise you. While most circulated 1979 quarters are worth only face value, 25 cents, if you happen to have one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, it could fetch a staggering amount in the market. The highest valued examples, especially those in mint condition or with notable varieties, can be worth a jaw-dropping $56,000. Yes, that's right, $56,000 for a single quarter. So, if you have a 1979 quarter in your collection or find one in your pocket change, be sure to take a closer look. It might just be worth more than you think. You never know, you could have a hidden treasure on your hands. Top 2. We're embarking on an exciting journey through time, all the way back to the year 1974. A year of both challenges and progress in the United States, and a year that produced a remarkable coin, the 1974 United States quarter dollar. This coin, though often overlooked by many, carries a unique history and a captivating story that makes it a treasure for collectors. Stick with us, and by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth today. Let's set the scene for 1974. The United States was navigating through a period of significant change. The early 1970s had been a time of great political and social upheaval. The country was still reeling from the aftermath of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and the resignation of President Richard Nixon. While political tensions were high, the nation was also experiencing rapid economic change. Inflation was rising, and the United States was grappling with the effects of a global oil crisis that would have far-reaching consequences. Amidst this backdrop of political uncertainty and economic struggle, the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins, including the familiar quarter dollar. The 1974 quarter, minted in the latter years of the 20th century, carries the same design that had been in circulation since 1932, featuring the image of George Washington on the obverse. Washington's profile on the coin represents the early founding of the United States, a nation built on principles of independence, freedom, and democracy. The coin's reverse side displays the majestic bald eagle, an enduring symbol of American strength and liberty. This design has remained largely unchanged for decades, and it is one of the most recognizable in U.S. coinage. George Washington, the first President of the United States, is depicted on the obverse in his familiar left-facing profile. His likeness was designed by the renowned sculptor John Flanagan and has been featured on the quarter since its debut. Washington's image is surrounded by the word "Liberty" at the top, with the year of minting, 1974, inscribed at the bottom. To the left of his portrait is the phrase, "In God We Trust," a motto that reflects the nation's faith and values. It's a design that speaks to the enduring spirit of the American people and their connection to their founding ideals. On the reverse of the coin, we see the powerful bald eagle, clutching both an olive branch and a bundle of arrows. The olive branch symbolizes peace, while the arrows represent the nation's readiness to defend its freedom and protect its interests. Above the eagle, the words "United States of America" appear, and below, you'll find "E pluribus unum," the Latin motto meaning "out of many, one." This phrase captures the idea of unity and strength derived from diversity, a concept that remains central to the nation's identity. And of course, beneath the eagle, you'll find the words "quarter dollar," denoting the coin's denomination. While the design of the 1974 quarter is familiar, there are details in its production that make it unique within the context of its time. 1974 marked an important year for the U.S. Mint, as it was a time of transition and experimentation with coin production. The nation was in the midst of the post-Watergate era, and the economy was struggling with inflation and rising costs. The mint was tasked with producing coins that would continue to serve as the backbone of everyday commerce while navigating these difficult economic times. During this period, coin production was high to meet the demand for currency, and millions of 1974 quarters were minted at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, as with any large-scale production, there were inevitable variations and inconsistencies in the coins that were produced. Some of these differences were subtle, while others were more noticeable, such as doubling on certain parts of the coin's design or minor errors in the striking process. These variations are part of what makes the 1974 quarter dollar so fascinating for collectors. Over time, the 1974 quarter became more than just a circulating coin. It became a symbol of the country's resilience in the face of economic challenges, and collectors began to take note of the rare examples that emerged from this era. Coins that were carefully preserved in pristine condition became increasingly valuable as the years went by. While many of the 1974 quarters that were minted saw heavy circulation and showed signs of wear, others remained in near-perfect condition, making them highly sought after in the world of numismatics. The true appeal of the 1974 quarter lies in its rarity, and as with any rare coin, its value is closely tied to its condition. A quarter that has been kept in mint condition, without any scratches or signs of circulation, will always command a premium in the market. But beyond just being well preserved, the presence of certain minting errors or unique features can push the value of a 1974 quarter to extraordinary heights. One of the most coveted varieties of the 1974 quarter is the double die error. This happens when the design is struck more than once during the minting process, causing parts of the coin to appear doubled or blurred. These errors are rare, and collectors value them for their uniqueness. A 1974 quarter with a double die can fetch a significantly higher price than a standard example, depending on the degree of the error and the overall condition of the coin. Other minting errors that make certain 1974 quarters highly desirable include off-center strikes, die cracks, and misplaced mint marks. Each of these anomalies makes the coin stand out and increases its desirability among collectors. As collectors continue to search for these rare coins, the value of well-preserved 1974 quarters with minting errors continues to rise. For collectors looking to capitalize on the value of their 1974 quarter, it's important to have the coin professionally graded. Grading provides an objective assessment of a coin's condition, which is essential for determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1974 quarter in uncirculated condition, or one with a notable error, can easily fetch a price well above its face value, with prices skyrocketing for coins that receive high grades from professional grading services. So, now it's time for the big reveal. Just how much could a 1974 quarter be worth today? If you happen to have a rare, well-preserved 1974 quarter in excellent condition, or one that features a unique minting error, you could be holding a coin worth an incredible $58,000. Yes, that's right, $58,000 for a single quarter. Who would have thought that a coin from 1974, a year filled with challenges and changes, could be worth so much? If you have a 1974 quarter in your collection, or even if you come across one in your spare change, make sure to take a closer look. It might just be the key to unlocking a small fortune. Be sure to check for any signs of minting errors or pristine condition. It could be worth far more than you imagined. Top 3 and last coin, we are diving into the captivating story of the United States 1970 quarter dollar. You may have come across this coin in your pocket change or in a jar of old coins, but today, we're going to uncover what makes this particular quarter so special. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed by the hidden value this small, seemingly ordinary coin holds. So, let's embark on a journey through history, design, rarity, and the coin's impressive potential value. Let's set the stage with the year 1970. The United States was in a time of change and transformation. The country was still recovering from the turbulence of the 1960s, with the Vietnam War continuing to dominate headlines. The 1970s marked a period of both uncertainty and progress. Social movements for civil rights and women's rights were gaining momentum, and the nation was also dealing with significant economic challenges. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins, including the 1970 quarter dollar, which would go on to become a piece of American history. At the time, the quarter's design had remained relatively unchanged since 1932, with the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, or front side, of the coin. This was part of a long-standing tradition, as Washington's likeness had been used for many years to honor his legacy as the first president of the United States. The quarter was still in widespread circulation, and it was a familiar part of daily life for many Americans, but what makes the 1970 quarter dollar stand out from other years? Well, the answer lies in its history, design, and the minting details that followed. As we explore the details of the coin, we'll start with its design. The 1970 quarter, like its predecessors, features the profile of George Washington on the obverse. This design, created by John Flanagan, is one of the most recognized and enduring representations of the United States. Washington's portrait is encircled by the words "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" to the left, a phrase that has been a part of U.S. coins for decades. Below his image, you'll see the year 1970, marking the coin's production year. On the reverse side of the 1970 quarter, you'll find the image of a bald eagle, perched on an olive branch and a bundle of arrows. This design, created by the famous artist and engraver, John R. Sinnock, symbolizes the power, resilience, and freedom of the United States. The eagle is an iconic representation of the country, and the coin's reverse emphasizes both peace and the nation's readiness to defend its sovereignty. Surrounding the eagle, you'll see the words "United States of America," as well as the inscription "E pluribus unum," which means, out of many, one, a phrase that reflects the unity of the American people. Beneath the eagle, the denomination, quarter dollar, clearly indicates the value of the coin. Although the design was familiar and relatively unchanged, the story of the 1970 quarter lies in the intricacies of its production. The 1970s were a time when the U.S. Mint faced challenges in meeting the growing demand for coins due to inflation and the increasing cost of materials. As a result, the production of coins in this era was complex and required careful attention to detail. The minting of the 1970 quarter saw coins produced in various locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But the San Francisco Mint played a significant role in producing proof sets that year, which would later become highly sought after by collectors. The 1970 quarter's minting year was also marked by a critical shift in coinage. The U.S. Mint had been adjusting the metal composition of its coins during the 1960s and 1970s due to the rising cost of silver. In 1970, the quarter was still made with a 90% silver composition, which would be phased out in the years to come. This silver content adds another layer of intrigue to the coin, especially as silver prices continued to rise in the following decades. The 1970 quarter, being part of the last years of silver coinage, is highly valued by collectors who seek out coins with silver content for both their numismatic and precious metal value. However, like many coins minted during this period, most of the 1970 quarters saw heavy circulation and were subject to wear and tear. With millions of coins being produced for everyday use, it's common to find these quarters in various conditions, some heavily worn, others with scratches and discoloration. But as with any coin, condition is key. Coins that were well preserved or never circulated are far more valuable, and the same holds true for the 1970 quarter. There are also certain variations of the 1970 quarter that are worth more than others, particularly proof coins. Proof coins are specially minted with a higher level of care and precision. These coins are struck multiple times to ensure that the design is as sharp and detailed as possible. In 1970, the San Francisco Mint produced proof sets that featured quarters with a beautiful, mirror-like finish. These proof coins, often kept in pristine condition by collectors, are worth much more than their regular counterparts. Another exciting aspect of the 1970 quarter is the existence of certain rare minting errors. While most quarters from 1970 were produced with standard features, some have been found with small anomalies, such as double die errors or off-center strikes. These mistakes, although small, make the coins incredibly valuable to collectors, as they are one-of-a-kind pieces. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a slight doubling of the design, especially on letters or numbers. These errors are relatively rare and make certain 1970 quarters highly sought after in the numismatic world. So, what is the 1970 quarter worth today? Well, the value of a 1970 quarter can vary greatly depending on its condition and rarity. A regular circulated 1970 quarter might be worth only a few dollars above its face value, but a well-preserved proof coin or a coin with a minting error could be worth significantly more. If you have a 1970 quarter in pristine condition, or one that features an error or is part of a proof set, you might be holding a valuable piece of history. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. A high-quality 1970 quarter, particularly one from the proof set or with a rare minting error, could be worth a staggering $59,000. That's right, $59,000 for a single quarter. Imagine stumbling across one of these hidden treasures in your collection or change jar. It's a coin that's more than just a piece of currency, it's a piece of American history. So, what should you do if you think you might have a 1970 quarter worth a small fortune? Be sure to get it professionally graded and evaluated by a reputable numismatist or coin grading service. A certified coin will have a much higher value, and you'll have an official record of its authenticity and condition. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and potential value of the 1970 quarter, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.